Tori Roloff reveals her and husband Zach's son Jackson had third leg surgery, took it like a champ. Hello viewers, I am Alana, welcome back to my channel. USA Daily History for Roloff family latest news update. Please subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon. In a deeply moving Instagram post on Friday, August 8, 2025, Tori Roloff shared that her courageous 8-year-old son had his third leg surgery and handled it with remarkable strength. Unbelievably proud of this kid, she wrote. Jackson had his third leg surgery today, and he took it like a champ. I had zero doubts, but he has every right to complain and he doesn't. Adding a touch of her trademark wit, Tori playfully quipped, Jackson has proved he's stronger than titanium, let's hope he's not stronger than vanadium. Her admiration for his resilience continued. His resilience and patience is unreal, she reflected. Watching him today do something he did not want to do with grace was so humbling. I am so proud to be his mom. Tori also addressed a delicate subject, her family's privacy surrounding medical details. While openly sharing their journey with achondroplasia, a form of dwarfism affecting Jackson, his siblings, and their father, Zach, Tori emphasized her reluctance to broadcast specifics of Jackson's leg condition. I don't share about his legs often because people on the internet seem to all have medical degrees and know exactly what the diagnosis is, she wrote. In reality, I don't trust people online. I trust his doctor, who I think is very good at what he does, and trust him to help us navigate this situation. Her protective, trusting stance continued with a heartfelt declaration. Jackson is receiving the best care we know how to give him, and he's taking it all in stride. Posting hospital snapshots showing Jackson's calm strength, Tori shared both a sense of vulnerability and pride. In comments online, her mother, Jackson's grandma Amy Roloff, expressed equal admiration, so proud of him. He's a brave and strong grandson. His brother and sister are proud of him too. Meanwhile, on Instagram stories, Tori provided encouraging news the following day. Jackson is doing so well. Thank you for all the prayers and messages. He's still taking it easy, but he has barely any pain. Hallelujah. This recent surgery is not Jackson's first. In 2021, he underwent a procedure to address bowed legs, involving screws to help realign them as he grows. At the time, Tori described him as so brave and confident, noting that he calmly spoke with doctors before going into surgery, an early sign of the resilience that continues to inspire his parents. Zach and Tori Roloff announced departure from Little People, Big World. Zach and Tori Roloff, stars of the hit Little People, Big World, have announced they will be leaving the show after 25 seasons. We are done. That part of our lives, that chapter has closed, said Tori Roloff, sitting alongside her husband Zach, on the latest episode of their podcast, Raising Heights, released Thursday. We've made it pretty clear, added Zach Roloff. They haven't asked us back technically. Zach Roloff expanded on the couple's decision to leave the show, explaining that the last season was an especially difficult experience, between family dynamics and their attempt to sell the family farm in Oregon. This last cycle was rough between the family, the farm deal, and we were done with it, he said. Tori Roloff hinted that the couple lost faith in the show in the most recent season. It was no longer a project that we really believed in, and so the last year was hard, she said. Little People, Big World debuted in 2006 and follows a family with 3 members living with dwarfism. Parents Amy and Matt Roloff, who divorced in 2016, along with Zach Roloff, have dwarfism. The former couple's 3 other children, Jeremy, Molly and Jacob, do not. The show has followed the family through the years living on their Oregon farm as they wrestle with the complexities of dwarfism and daily life issues such as marriage, divorce, and coming of age. Tori Roloff first appeared on the show when she and Zach Roloff began dating in season 10, which ran from 2010 to 2012. The couple wed in 2015. Little People, Big World was a huge part of our lives, but it was time to walk away, the couple wrote in the description of Thursday's podcast episode. The show brought us so many amazing opportunities, great memories, and so much fun. But it also challenged us to set better boundaries with filming and our kids, cope with not-so-accurate depictions of our lives, and face family difficulties. They added, it was a great run, but we needed an adult in the room. And we made that move. Zach and Tori Roloff announce exit from Little People, Big World after 25 seasons. That chapter has closed. A major change is coming to TLC's long-running series Little People, Big World. Zach and Tori Roloff revealed on their Raising Heights podcast Thursday that they will be leaving the reality show after 25 seasons. We are not coming back to Little People, Big World. Like, we are done, Tori, 31, began. That part of our lives, that chapter has closed. Sharing his wife's sentiment, Zach, 33, said in response, "I think the chapter has closed regardless of us being asked back or not. We've made it pretty clear we're done with that chapter for multiple reasons, the reasons we will get into here. But because we've made that pretty clear, they haven't asked us back technically," he continued. "This last cycle was rough, between the family, the farm deal, and we are done with it." Tori also indicated that it's hard to put everything into a project that you no longer believe in, noting that this last season for Little People, Big World, that kind of happened. It was no longer a project that we really believed in, and so the last year was hard, she added. It was hard to show up every day for it. Agreeing that filming the currently airing 25th season was tough, Zach also expressed how unfortunate their departure is because they had such a run there. People has reached out to TLC for comment. Little People, Big World premiered on TLC in March 2006. The series follows the daily lives of the Oregon-based Roloff family. Much of the show has focused on family heads, and now exes, Matt and Amy, as well as their son Zach, all of whom have dwarfism. Season 25 premiered on Tuesday. Zach and Tori, who first joined the series in Season 10, later marrying her now husband in 2015, noted on their podcast that there are a lot of reasons for their exit. But Tori indicated that their 3 kids, daughter Lila Ray, 4, and sons Jackson Kyle, 6, and Josiah Luke, 21 months, were a really large portion of our reasoning for maybe not doing the show anymore. Addressing their departure from the show further, the couple jointly said on Instagram that there were moments in reality TV that we loved and moments that we didn't. But overall we're grateful to our crew and our producer, and we're excited for our next chapter. Why Zach Roloff is finally leaving Little People, Big World, is the show over? Little People, Big World star Zach Roloff and his wife, Tori Roloff, have announced with the show. Zach, who has been a part of the Little People, Big World cast since the series debut, and his wife Tori have spent the last several years building their family while battling health issues and dealing with difficulty within their extended family. Zach is the last of the Roloff siblings on the series with their parents, Matt Roloff and Amy Roloff, who have been divorced since 2016. Zach's siblings, his twin Jeremy Roloff, Jacob Roloff, and Molly Roloff, have all separated from Little People, Big World over the years. While some of the siblings simply left the spotlight entirely, others like Jeremy and his wife Audrey Roloff have simply separated from the series but maintained their own presence on social media. For Zach, who is estranged from his twin brother, making the decision to leave the series he's been starring in with his family for nearly 20 years was a difficult one, and have spoken out about what's next. Although Zach and Tori's 3 children have been used to the crew of Little People, Big World in their lives, the couple shared on their podcast Raising Heights that the show was starting to become too much for their family. Sharing that their children were beginning to become very aware of the cameras. The Roloff kids, Jackson, Lila, and Josiah, have all been heavily involved in Little People, Big World in the last several seasons, even in the most difficult moments of their young lives. Zach and Tori explained on Raising Heights that their son Jackson, who is 7 years old, has expressed the most issue with the crew of Little People, Big World being in their lives. Dealing with dwarfism has required some major patience and faith in medical professionals for the Roloffs, and with all 3 of their children having been diagnosed, Zach and Tori shared that Jackson was beginning to feel uncomfortable with the crew being at his medical appointments. The couple shared that as well. Little People, Big World has been on the air for nearly 2 decades, and though Zach's family has signed up to be on the series for such a long stretch of time, it's clear that it wasn't their intention to do so initially. When Little People, Big World began, it wasn't clear if the series would be a hit, but the family were signing up to share more about their lives, not to put their drama front and center. While Zach has been on reality TV for nearly 20 years of his life, it hasn't always been his decision to stay there. Now that he has a family of his own, it's clear about his life. Zach and Tori shared that they're hopeful they can fade into the background a bit after leaving Little People, Big World so that their kids can grow up with the same sense of anonymity they did. Zach shared that he's been dealing with some newfound medical issues, which have made it tough to film the series. While Zach has had medical problems throughout the run of Little People, Big World simply due to his dwarfism, there have been on more than his health and his kids. With Little People, Big World Season 25 delving into Zach's health issues, it may become more clear as to why he's taking time away from the show as the season continues. Throughout their time on Little People, Big World, the Roloff family's issues have been blown out of proportion and made into larger-than-life problems. According to Zach and Tori, part of their reason for wanting to leave the series has to do with the fact that they're tired of dealing with the drama that comes from being part of the show. 4 years, which was originally owned by Matt and Amy. After their split, the drama of who would be getting the farm turned into a family affair. Turning into countless arguments, the Roloffs have been subjected to every angle possible of who will be getting the farm, when, and why. Though the farm is a big deal. They shared that while the production of the series has been holding on to the farm story, the family has been more communicative about what's been happening. Zach and Tori feel that separating themselves from the farm drama will be what's best for their family in improving their relationships with Matt, Amy, and everyone else. Though Little People, Big World Season 25 will feature Zach, Tori, and their children, their decision to leave the series after this season will impact the show tremendously. While it's very likely that the series won't continue. Without Zach and Tori, the only remaining cast members would be Amy and Matt, who are not deeply entrenched in each other's lives anymore. Will likely come to an end after Zach and Tori leave the show, marking a bittersweet finale to the series. Little People, Big World. Why Zach and Tori Roloff are skipping pumpkin season. The trailer for the upcoming Little People, Big World season premiere explains why Zach Roloff and his wife, Tori Roloff, will skip pumpkin season at Roloff Farms. Zach and his father, Matt Roloff, have been at odds ever since Matt decided to sell part of the farm for $4 million in May. Matt claimed Zach and Zach's brother Jeremy Roloff were unwilling to buy the land, calling his sons out publicly on Instagram. Zach called his father's comments extremely misguided and false. "I feel like it's going to be a hostile environment," Zach told his mother, Amy Roloff, and her husband, Chris Marek, in the new trailer. Tori also told the camera that the farm is not a place of joy for her anymore. Meanwhile, Matt appears to blame Zach and Tori for the family drama. He said they have really isolated themselves from him and his girlfriend, Karen Chandler. In another scene, Zach told Matt he does not want Chandler to meet his newborn son Josiah. "They still think they did nothing wrong," Zach told the camera. Chandler said it was painful that the situation was still ongoing. "Chandler is waiting for an olive branch, but it is not coming," Tori said. Later, Matt told the camera he was ready to go in a completely new direction with the farm. Audiences will just have to see what that new direction is when. The feud between Matt and Zach began in May when Matt suddenly decided to sell a part of Roloff Farms. On May 15th, Matt published a statement on Instagram expressing disappointment that Zach or Jeremy did not buy the property. His dream to keep the farm and the family was just not meant to be, he wrote, and a complete shock to fans. Zach called his father out in public and a now-deleted response to the Instagram post. Zach also accused his father of manipulating the narrative before the new episodes air. Once again, like he has for most of his life, not taking responsibility for his own actions and blaming others, Zach wrote. Dragging the family drama that he created and then manipulating the fan base to make himself come out okay. This post is a new shocking low of cowardice and manipulation of his family and kids for his own gain. In another twist to the situation, both Zach and Jeremy recently moved to new properties. In June, Jeremy and his wife Audrey Roloff announced they found their own farm in Oregon after a 2-year search. In October 2021, Zach and Tori moved into a new home in Washington State, not far from Portland, Oregon. Little People, Big World. Tori and Zach's dwarfism confessions are wrenching, how they cope with the stares and mean comments. Little People, Big World's Zach Roloff and Tori Roloff share their gut-wrenching experiences being dwarfs in the world. The popular reality show has come a long way since it began in 2006. It has shown Zach's complete journey into adulthood and his marital life with Tori. The reality star and his parents debuted in the franchise nearly 2 decades ago. They proudly shared their everyday adventures, showing viewers how tough it is to live with dwarfism. While things started great, drama eventually began to brew. The reality TV curse slowly sabotaged the Roloff family. Recently, Zach wanted to acquire part of the Roloff family farm. However, his father didn't just hand it over to him. He asked for a hefty price, which started a family feud that pushed Zach to move away from his parents. In 2024, Zach and his wife, Tori, are featured in Little People, Big World Season 25. They moved out and confirmed they were done with the show. Zach shared that his primary goal was to keep his children away from the family drama. He doesn't have much of a relationship left with his father. Zach and Tori recently talked about their personal lives in their podcast Raising Heights. They discussed a few topics, one of which was about how Zach feels when people see him in public. He said, "Are they staring at me because I am a dwarf, or are they staring at me because they saw me on TV?" He added, "It's hard." Recently, Zach and Tori filmed the finale of their podcast, Raising Heights. Tori said, "They're such a big part of our life and what we do," adding that the nicest thing about filming their television show was family and memories. In the podcast, The couple brought their kids, Jackson, Lila, and Josiah, to host their show. They asked them interesting questions and got some intriguing answers. Zach and Tori also discussed how they try to keep their minds open in tough situations, making her furious. She said, "I wanted to be like, honey, no, let me educate you right now." Tori admitted she didn't do it because it wouldn't have been kind. She added, "We let it go. We laughed, and we still chuckle about it to this day." Zach shared, "To leave with, that's how God made us." Little people, big world stars choose to be kind despite the criticism they receive. Zach and Tori Roloff are no longer filming for LPBW. Reality TV tears families apart. After that they're finished filming for Little People, Big World, Zach and Tori Roloff have confirmed they're through with reality television. Zach has been sharing his personal life with TLC's cameras since LPBW's inception in 2006, and soon after, Tori joined the cast after the couple began dating. Now married with 3 kids, Tori and Zach's storyline is currently playing out during season 25 of LPBW, but this will be their last. During a recent episode of their newly launched podcast Tori and Zach opened up about their decision. Part of Zach and Tori's choice was based on their eldest child, son Jackson, voicing that he doesn't want to film every aspect of his personal life, so as parents, they really took that to heart. Tori called Jackson's opinions a huge reason why she and Zach chose to step away from reality television. In a recent For Raising Heights, Tori and Zach shared a clip of the podcast episode and, in the caption, explained, "On this week's episode, we address one of the reasons why we decided to move on from reality television. There were moments in reality TV that we loved and moments that we didn't, but overall we're grateful to our crew and our producer, and we're excited for our next chapter on Instagram." Tori and Zach elaborated on their decision, telling their fans and followers, "Moving on from reality TV was a tough decision to make, but we're hoping that relationships and communication can regrow after all these years." Amid their big announcement, LPBW viewers spoke out in the comments section of their latest Instagram post, and many had some harsh criticism for the couple, especially Tori. One of Tori and Zach's podcast listeners urged them to work things out with Zach's dad, Matt Roloff, regarding their squabble over Roloff Farms. One of Tori's critics slammed her for not telling Zach to repair his relationship with Matt and Karen Chandler. "Only focus on the bad," the critic continued. "I find it sad. I wonder why it took this long for them to feel this way." An OGLPBW fan commented that the anger is, definitely, coming from Tori more so regarding on the fact they aren't getting the farm, noting that Zach is a chill guy, so it wouldn't be in his character to drag on a spat with his father for this long. Another Instagram user questioned Zach and Tori's decision to quit reality TV but start a podcast, asking, "But isn't this podcast and social media basically the same as reality TV?" Monsters and Critics reported, Zach and Tori opened up to and explained how they would know when it was time to cut the cord and stop filming for LPBW. During their interview with Cassie DeLaura, the couple spilled the tea when asked how they would decide to walk away from TLC. "I think that, the minute it's not fun anymore," Tori shared. "I think for us, we enjoy sharing our lives, and for right now, the kids get along great for the crew, and it's fun. The minute it's not fun anymore, I think that's, then you kinda gotta come together and be like, alright, so what's our next step?" Little People, Big World star Zach Roloff explains relationship with father. Star has just opened up about the current state of his relationship with his father, and things aren't looking all that great. In the which he co-hosts with his wife, the reality star revealed that his dynamic with his father is still very rocky. He went on to claim that which has made it difficult for the father-son duo to reconcile. This is how Roloff described his father's attitude. The couple also talked about how the filming for Little People, Big World Season 25 concluded over a year ago, but watching the show opened up a lot of old wounds for them. And Soccer Player noted that while the dust has settled on the drama, nothing has really been fixed between him and his father. Stuff comes out on social media, and you realize people are thinking the same thing. "It's a bummer because I thought we were kind of evening it out a little bit," he added. The update comes after Zach and Tori Roloff officially announced their exit from the show after 25 seasons in February 2024. Naturally, a lot of fans thought that was in response to Zach and Matt Roloff's long-running feud over the family farm. In a February episode of the Raising Heights podcast, Zach went on to clarify about how things had been rough for the family because of the farm deal, and that's what eventually pushed the couple to take this decision. "We were done with it. We moved on," he concluded. The began in Little People, Big World Season 22 when started talking about buying part of the family farm. However, Matt Roloff ended up listing the portion of the property his son wanted to buy. To make matters worse, He later decided against the sale and turned the place into a short-term vacation rental. The father and son negotiated for a year, and when Roloff Sr. refused to accept the couple's offer, they with their 3 children.